It is an incredible time to be in SaaS right now. There's large language models, there's AI, there's open APIs, there is the cloud still, and there's product-led growth. It means that without a lot of upfront investment, you can build an incredible software product, get it into the hands of your ideal customers, and start to generate cash. It's an incredible time. But here's the big question though. There are so many different kinds of SaaS ideas. How do you make sure you validate your SaaS idea? How do you make sure you're working on a SaaS idea that's the right one without wasting months building the wrong product? We've all been there. So in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through 3 SaaS ideas that I think you should build, that I think are incredible ideas, and I'm gonna explain the exact principle I'm using to develop these ideas. And by the end of this episode, either you'll build one of these or it'll inspire you to develop your own idea using the principles that I teach you. Either way, the intention I have for this video is to get you from being a pre-founder to a founder of a SaaS company. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics from the trenches on how to grow your SaaS business faster. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. And if you're already part of this community, if you're already part of this channel, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching programs, my people, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Now, every SaaS product I've ever built, this includes ToutApp, which was my last company, and the SaaS companies that I own right now, they all started as a simple idea and then turned into something way bigger. ToutApp amassed over 100,000 users. It was backed by Andreessen Horowitz. We then sold it to a market leader called Marketo. But it all started with a simple idea that I built over the course of a weekend. Ever since then, I've always been obsessed about simple ideas that you can build over the course of a weekend and go test in the market so that you can stop wasting months building the wrong product. Now, given everything that I've learned in my 15 years in SaaS, building multiple SaaS companies, in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through 3 core SaaS ideas that I think are really powerful, and I'm gonna explain the core principle that drives and gives me conviction around these ideas. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm for the core principle, and then I'm gonna walk through each of the 3 ideas. So the core principle that I'm following around this is there's some raw materials available to me as a SaaS builder, as an engineer, as a go-to-market person, as a SaaS founder that I think is super special right now. The first one is we have large language models. The second one is we have the cloud, which means I can deploy SaaS and charge monthly for it. The third is we have product-led growth, meaning I don't have to build up an entire sales team. I can get a very simple product out into the market and I can test if people like it or not. I can track their usage. I can upsell them to a low price point and really see if there's market demand for it without building out an entire team. And the last piece that's really available is that because SaaS and software as a service is so much adopted by so many different industry verticals, there are a lot of APIs that I can tap into for every customer I'm targeting to layer on top of that API and give even more value. So if they're already using a CRM, then I can go on those APIs. If they're already using a marketing automation solution, I can go on those APIs. So I have a lot of raw ingredients, which means that I can take all these pieces and probably build a pretty compelling SaaS offering at just say $30 a month, which is a pretty good benchmark for creating value. And then from there, I can go and build bigger and bigger visions of what I'm solving for once I know people are willing to pay $30 a month for it. So that's the core principle that I'm using. And given all this, there's essentially this core theme that is developing, especially with AI and large language models. Given I can tap into these APIs and get something into the end user really quickly, I can just charge $30 a month. There's this entire idea emerging around AI copilots. And that's the core basis around the 3 concrete ideas that I'm gonna share with you in this episode. This is kind of what's driving it, because I look at the entire SaaS landscape today and I'm seeing, okay, there's all these APIs to the customer data. There's product-led growth. I can get unique distribution and get into people's hands without a sales team. I can get them to try the product. I can tap into their APIs. I can use a large language model. There's some cool stuff I can do to build a differentiated product. I think it's really cool. The engineer in me gets super excited by it. The go-to-market person in me gets like, oh my God, I could totally sell that. So both of them are excited, both sides, and they're really happy. So based on this core core raw ingredients that exist in SaaS right now, I get super excited and I'm like, all right, what kind of companies can we build? Now, I already own SaaS companies right now. Literally, I coach founders and I own SaaS companies. I'm in the trenches with you guys as I'm doing this channel. This is how I study the game. Coaching is how I basically have founders I get to work with and serve based on my 15 years of knowledge. So I'm not gonna build one of these ideas. At least I don't think so. But you should, and I'm gonna walk you through what they are based on this core principle. So idea number one, and I always think of ideas in terms of who it's for and what is the result we're gonna give to them. And I'm gonna give you the idea and pitch you each of these ideas based on that. So the first idea that I have that I think is super powerful is to serve the sales team, the salesperson or the sales leader. And now Toadap was pioneering the sales engagement space. So you guys all know sales is near and dear to my heart. So that's number one. But I still think as crowded as sales is, there's something differentiated here. So you take salespeople and you add in their CRM data. So whether they're using HubSpot or Salesforce or Pipedrive, whatever CRM, we don't care. They've got APIs. And you're like, hey, salesperson, give me access to your sales data. Just yours, just your opportunities. And you combine that with a large language model that can help you understand and parse through that data. You can actually develop an AI Copilot for sales that does Q&A for the salesperson. And that's pretty powerful. Now, if a salesperson who's just sitting there working on deals and is kind of afraid to talk to the manager, they really want to hit their number, could say, here you go, AI bot, sales bot, here's my data. Please analyze it and answer some questions for me. And based on that, you can actually use the CRM data plus the large language model plus some smarts you sprinkle on top of that. What could you do? How could you provide value to the sales leader? Maybe it's just basic analytics like, hey, here are the deals you're winning, here are the deals you're not winning, here's the ones you want to follow up on. Or maybe it's a little bit more advanced that even the salesperson doesn't think of. That's the power of an AI Copilot. Now, normally in the previous days before large language models came out, this would just be an analytics product. But because large language models exist, you're not just doing analytics, you're taking this data, you're crunching it, you're feeding it to the large language model, and you're allowing an interaction between the user and the core data set to actually figure out insights. And ultimately, what you're delivering to them are key insights that they would not get on their own. That's my first SaaS idea. And I think that no one's quite doing this as well as they should. There's lots of people dabbling in it. There's lots of people looking at big visions, but no one's saying, hey, let's create a $30 a month product targeting salespeople that analyzes their CRM data and lets them have a conversation about their CRM data. So go try that. So that's principle number one, idea number one. Let's go to idea number two, and I'm gonna follow the same format over here. So the second one, again, near and dear to my heart, is I would go for the marketing person. Remember, who you serve is more important than a lot of other things. You may have a great idea, but until you're clear on who the ideal customer is, nothing else matters. And that's how you really validate if it's gonna work or not. So I'm gonna say, let's go after marketers. And marketers have lead data. And this is part of their marketing automation system. This could be a HubSpot, this could be a ConvertKit, this could be a Pardot, whatever you name it. It could be a Marketo. So they have lead data, and that essentially has API, so I can access that data. And again, you might be able to see the pattern here. I'm gonna combine that with a large language model, and I'm gonna build an AI Copilot for marketing. And I'm gonna be able to answer questions and answers, and I'm gonna be able to give them insights. And again, you can see the pitch for this. Like, hey, marketing person, give me access to your lead data or show me the last 1,000 leads you generated. And I'm gonna crunch that data and I'm gonna have a conversation with you through my large language model on what's working, what's not, and what you can do to improve it. Isn't that cool? So that's idea number two. And it's all based on these raw ingredients that exist today in SaaS. And I keep saying this, if you're part of my mailing list, you'll know about this. We are in the golden age of SaaS, whether we realize it or not. Everything is way cheaper than ever. Like the fact that you can access a large language model for as cheap as it is, and you can add that kind of functionality on top of your SaaS software, the fact that all your customers already have all their data easily accessible through APIs, and you can take that data and and put it into this large language model and start to analyze things and start to understand things and start to derive conclusions, that's incredible. It's an incredible time. So we're really in the golden age of SaaS, and I think incredible software companies are going to be built. And some of these will start small with just like, oh, we're just an AI Copilot, we just have a conversation with a salesperson. These could easily turn into massive categories that we don't even know about yet. Now, I have a third one for you. But before I go into that one, let me just pause here for a second. Are you starting to see the power in this? Are you starting to see the power of just these two ideas on how taking these raw ingredients that exist in SaaS today, you can build a really compelling product and start to test it in the market. And once you have the attention of the salespeople or the marketers, you're having these conversations with them and you're giving them insights how you can broaden that aperture to doing so much more for your customers. If you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that. Also, if you're in this stage where what I would call is you're a pre-founder, meaning you don't know your core SaaS idea yet. You don't know what you're gonna build, but you know you wanna own a SaaS business. You wanna build a SaaS business. You wanna be a SaaS founder, which means you're a pre-founder. Then I encourage you to check out my SaaS Launch Challenge. You don't have to go anywhere right now. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this episode. I'll link to it below. But right now, let's go to the third idea, which I'm equally excited about. And also, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It loves it when you do that. And also, so do we. My team and I, we put a lot of love into these videos. Okay, the third one. Third one, I'm gonna go up the chain. I'm gonna target CEOs and execs. And I'm gonna say, hey, CEOs and execs, you have data in terms of QuickBooks. QuickBooks is a financial system and it does have APIs. And it doesn't have to be QuickBooks, it could be Xero or some other competitor. Give me that, I'm gonna analyze your financial data and I'm gonna use an LLM and I'm gonna use my own analytics and I'm gonna be your AI Copilot for the exec team and I'm gonna answer questions about your financial health and I'm gonna give you insights. So you can start to see the pattern is the same. The technology that comes from large language models and AI is the same, but you're taking in different data sources and solving wildly different problems for different groups of people. And one could say we're an AI Copilot for everybody. That's where you go wrong. The reason each of these three ideas are powerful, remember, is because you're being very specific about who you're solving for, what you're giving them, and exactly how you are getting to those insights. So that's my third idea. And I think there's something really powerful here because there are so many small businesses that have financial data, but most entrepreneurs and founders and CEOs don't really know how to read a P&L statement. And I think there's so much opportunity here. This one is probably one of the harder ones to really implement, but it's not impossible because these data feeds are available and there's so much you can do with it. And my biggest thing for you is you should always start small. Don't try to go for the craziest analytics and predictions. Just start with key insights and you'd be amazed how just simple insights are so valuable to these kind of people. And then you can build on top of that as you start to get momentum going. So to recap, here are the three SaaS ideas that you should start thinking about building right now, or some version of it that you're inspired by as you hear these three SaaS ideas. Number one, for salespeople, take their opportunity data, couple a large language model, and build an AI Copilot that helps them have a conversation about their pipeline. Number two, target marketers, look at their lead data and couple it with a large language model and start to have a conversation about the type of leads they're generating and how they can improve their pipeline. And number three, target CEOs and execs. Tap into their financial data and allow them to be having a conversation with you about how they can improve the growth of their business based on key metrics and insights. Same pattern, but wildly different target markets. And those are the three key ideas that are built on top of these raw ingredients that exist right now in SaaS. That's why I think it's a golden age of SaaS. You've got large language models, you've got the cloud, and you've got APIs on the cloud with all that data, and you've got product-led growth, which means that you can get a small, tiny product that solves a very specific problem out into the market and start testing it. And based on that, you can go after an even larger vision or as large of a vision as you want to. That's really the power of this. Now you know what my 3 top of mind SaaS ideas are that you really should consider building now, given everything amazing that's going on in SaaS right now. What you may not know is, okay, TK, let's say I want to do one of these or some version of this. How do I actually get distribution? How do I really hone in on this idea? How do I flesh out the features? What does the MVP look like? And how do I get initial customers? How do I stress test the market that there's real demand for it so that I don't waste months building the wrong product? And it could be for one of these 3 ideas or a different idea that you're considering. This is exactly why I have my SaaS Launch Challenge. It is a self-directed course that I've created myself. It's the same exact framework I used when I was a pre-founder to really figure out what is the right idea to go after. And this is specifically for pre-founders. Pre-founders are folks that know they want to be a SaaS founder. They want to have a thriving SaaS business, but they don't know what idea they want to pursue. They don't know how to validate that idea or hone in on the right idea. They don't know how to stress test that idea. And they don't know how to structure that idea, build out the first version, and test it in the market. These are the key things I teach in a self-directed course inside of my SaaS Launch Challenge. So if you want to learn more about it, just go to tkkader.com/challenge. tkkader.com/challenge, and I'll link to it below. And over there, you'll get all the details about exactly what you get inside of the SaaS Launch Challenge. It's completely self-directed. You can go at your own pace. You can figure these pieces out, and you'll learn exactly how to stress test your idea and get to initial revenues. So those are the key ideas I had for you. I'm really excited about SaaS right now. It's such an incredible time, and hopefully this video has inspired you to get to work. If you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It just loves it when you do that, and so do we. My team and I put a lot of love into these videos. If you have a fellow pre-founder or a founder or a team member that would get value from this video, please share this video with them as well. Also, if you're part of a WhatsApp group, a Slack group with other founders and aspiring SaaS founders and other engineers that want to become a founder, please share this video with them. It'll just mean the world to us. Also, I drop an episode every single Sunday with actionable strategies and tactics on how to grow your SaaS business faster. This specific video was geared towards pre-founders, but a lot of my episodes are really about scaling founders and how they're accelerating their growth. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon where you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode or inside the SaaS Launch Challenge. Take care, everybody.